We just have to demonstrate that he will not take power by, if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. Guys, I know, man, I've got a lot of videos talking about this. I know that everybody's talking about it, but I think we have to. Because what the Democrats have done in Colorado and are attempting to do in so many other places really is an attack on democracy in every single possible way, made all the more ironic and hilarious. If it can be hilarious, it's hilarious because these are the people that have been telling us for years now that they are the only savior of democracy. A vote for anyone other than a Democrat is a vote to end democracy. I mean, what a complete and total scam. I feel bad for the people that are just now coming out of the fog and realizing that they have been completely fooled. They've been used. It's insane. All this is proof that the Democrats, they do not care anymore. They've decided that now is their time, and they're going to play as dirty as they possibly can. And I think the reason that this is the time for them to play dirty and do whatever it takes to finally just seize as much control and as much consolidated power as they possibly can is because they know that they've gone too far. And they know that people are finally waking up. You know, their scam is exposed. And it honestly has not taken long for the tide to turn. You know, the same people who were taking a victory lap just a few days ago on all this mess are now pretty damn terrified that what the left is doing is only going to solidify and strengthen Donald Trump, almost to the point where they're afraid he's going to be invincible. And even the most diluted, intellectually destroyed never-Trumpers and liberal propagandists are coming to the defense of Donald Trump. And really, it's the defense of the Constitution. This has nothing to do with Trump. This is everything about what the Democrats are trying to do to our rule of law, to our democracy, to our country.
Ambassador Bolton, when you look at this measure that was put in place to keep former Confederates from returning to power, I mean, what do you make of it being used here?
I think it's completely misplaced. I think this Colorado Supreme Court decision is badly wrong for multiple reasons. Number one, the 14th Amendment provides that Congress can pass legislation to carry its provisions into effect, which Congress has done on many aspects. It has not put anything with respect to Section 3 on the books since just after the Civil War. Second, the idea that 50 different state courts can decide a question involving the highest elective office in the executive branch, interpreting the federal Constitution as to what constitutes an insurrection against the federal government is incoherent. And I think undoubtedly the Supreme Court's going to have to clear that up.
I can't actually believe that I'm going to say this, but I agree 100% with John Bolton. I have not agreed with John Bolton since he was up in the middle of the night on Greg Gutfeld's old show on Fox, Red Eye, which was on in the middle of the night. It was actually very, very funny. It was more of a comedy show. And Bolton, by the way, he's a total rhino POS, but he's actually a pretty funny guy, believe it or not. And anyway, POS or not, rhino or not, he's 100% completely right here. And another guy who's very right, as usual, Greg Kelly on Newsmax, also right. Absolutely nails it.
They're giving the background on the facts here, and they dwell on January 6th a lot. Donald Trump spoke to the attendees in his speech, which began around noon, and here it gets all political. President Trump persisted in rejecting the election results, telling his supporters that we won in a landslide and we will never concede. These are quotes out of context, right? He urged his supporters to confront this egregious assault on our democracy, unquote. Quote, walk down to the Capitol and show strength, unquote. And if they did not, quote, fight like hell, they would not have a country anymore, unquote. Before his speech ended, portions of the crowd began moving toward the Capitol. Below, we discuss additional facts regarding the events of January 6th as relevant to the legal issues before us. It's fascinating. Their summary of that speech, they portray it in the darkest light possible, eliminating anything that's factual but exculpatory that would lend to his innocence, huh?
Can you guys actually believe this? This is from a state Supreme Court in the United States of America, man. Guys, if you have not read this decision, please do. It's a lot. There's a lot to it. I know a lot of you guys have. Not one leftist in the chat has read it, I promise you. But guys, please read it. You will see apparently the greatest and most honorable jurists in all of Colorado in an attempt to, really, it's the most extreme kind of judicial activism that we've probably ever seen in modern day America, on selectively chosen and lazily edited lines from one speech on one day. They didn't even have the intellectual integrity to include him saying, go and make your voices heard peacefully and patriotically.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
And I'd bet you that they have absolutely zero issue with this, and probably see no potential illegality, even after a crazy leftist literally tried to delete Justice Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you.
Yeah, of course they don't care about that. They don't care about that. They probably agree. That's just free speech, of course. That's just a beautiful part of the democratic process. And guys, I promise you, please keep the faith, because if a guy like John Bolton can see this for the election interference that it really is, I promise you, regular, TDS-free, normal Americans will see it immediately. They'll see right through it for everything that it is. But of course, for the ones that are still suffering from some severe mental illness, there's a little something for you too.
We're all just trying to absorb this. Listen, I think in the broad strokes, in terms of our democracy, there are very few magic wands. there are very few sort of magic spells that you cast that make a complex and difficult problem go away. It just doesn't happen very often in our political system, and I think that we shouldn't be under any illusions about the character and the partisan inclinations, among other things, of this current Supreme Court as it is constituted.
You heard that. Perfectly normal for a healthy democracy to use courts in place of democracy. Yeah. Just so you know, TDS or not, that is A, not normal, and B, not democracy. I think we should maybe take away their democracy savior badge that they all earned for themselves, and because that is not what that is. But anyway, Colorado, they were not the first to have this idea. They were just the first one to decide to throw everything our country has stood for away, just completely throw it in the trash. And now more are going to try. California has come out saying that they're on board, and there will be more. And here's my question, why do this? Donald Trump was never going to win California. He didn't win Colorado in either 2016 or 2020. Maybe it was too close for them to risk it. I don't know. But if he's not going to win those electoral votes, why are these the states that are willing to subvert and pervert democratic principles? Why would they do that? Here's what I think. I think obviously, it's a test run to see what they can do, see what they can finally get away with, and kind of plan their perfect subversion for the future is what I think it is. I'm not sure exactly, but, I am sure that, we should not take any victories when the Supreme Court overturns this stuff and everything that goes our way. I don't think we should take any of this stuff as victories. We should see this as a warning, as some kind of new normal. There is no going back from this. This is how the Democrats are going to operate from now on. I think this is now probably their baseline. They do not care about democracy at all. And we can see that. We can prove that. They care about power. And people need to be informed. People need to be reminded about this at every single opportunity. Every time one of these Democrat politicians opens their mouth about democracy, this needs to be what they have to answer for. But anyway, that's all I've got, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.